Hello friends, today we are going to see Akbar and Birbal story. Akbar's disguise. Akbar the great ruler, he did everything he could to ensure that his people were treated well and the politics he had introduced were being followed. He discovered that whenever he went out to walk around in his city, the people would run and hide, they would fall to the ground and act like a good man, very good person. Akbar knew that this was not how they would do normally behave, so he would often discuss himself and walk around to find what exactly how the things were in his kingdom. This helped him a lot, but there was always a possibility that he might meet some danger since he was in disguise. One day, just as Baba was putting on his disguise, Birbal walked in. Birbal smiled at Akbar and said, "Your Majesty, this is a great idea, but I have warned you before and I am warning you again. This would be dangerous for you. Please be careful." Akbar laughed aloud and said, "Birbal, you worry too much. What kind of danger will I meet? I am strong enough to defend myself against any robbers. I even carry a knife to protect me. Nothing can happen to me, don't you worry." He kept laughing as he put on his disguise and he left the palace without anyone seeing him. Birbal walked to the town, watching his people go about their daily life. He met people, talked to them, and even asked them what they thought about living in the kingdom of Akbar the Great. He was surprised when one person said, "Akbar is a great king, but I am not sure he is a great." Towards the evening, Akbar had finished his walk and was on his way back to the palace. Suddenly he saw a shadow figure following him. He said to himself, "I think I am being followed." He started to walking quickly, a little faster. He started to walk a little faster, but the person who was following him began to do as well as like that, walking fastly like that. Akbar became worried and his hands automatically went to his knife. To make sure that he was being followed, he took few steps and then stopped. The person who was following did the same. Akbar became angry and decided to surprise the person. He began to walking and then suddenly turned around and ran towards the person who was following him. To his surprise, he found a very simple looking man dressed in a simple coat and had a beard. The man did not look like a criminal. Akbar was surprised, but he was still angry that he shouted, "Hey you! I know you are following me. Who are you? Why are you following me?" Instead of protecting, the man smiled and said, "I am following you because I like following you. Am I doing something wrong?" Akbar became even more angry at the cheeky man. He said, "What's your name?" The man did not seem to be scared at all. He smiled and said, "My name is No Name." Akbar was furious. He shouted, "Where do you live? What do you do?" The man quickly replied, "I live nowhere. I do nothing." The Akbar did not like being treated like this. With an air of authority, he shouted, "Fool! Do you know who I am?" The man smiled and said, "You are a human being, right?" Akbar stretched out his hand and said, "I am the king, you cheeky rascal. Look at the royal ring on my finger. Now bow before me and beg for forgiveness." The man did not seem to be impressed. He said to Akbar, "Is that ring original, real? Let me see it." Without hesitating, the Akbar took off his royal ring and gave to the man. The man laughed, put the ring on his pocket and began to run away. Akbar was shocked. He shouted, Hey, come back here. I will hang you. Give me back my ring." The man continued to run away. The Akbar looked around and saw a few people walking nearby. He looked at them and shouted, Help me, that man is a thief. Catch him. The two strong men ran towards the thief and got him. Instead of looking guilty, the thief shouted, "You fools! I am not a thief. I am your king. Look at this royal ring and you will realize that you are talking to the Akbar the Great." When people saw the royal ring, they fell back shouting, "Forgive us, king! Forgive us!" Akbar saw what was happening knew that there was nothing he could do. So he quickly ran towards the palace. He removed his disguise and entered the palace. After he dressed up in the royal clothes, he said to himself, "I have got to tell my gods about this wicked thief and command them to catch him. But if Birbal finds out about this, he will laugh at me. What shall I do? I am very worried." Akbar walked into his courtroom. To his surprise, he found a small box lying on his throne. He picked up the box and opened it. Akbar was shocked to find his royal ring inside the box. He shouted, "Ha! That foolish thief decided to return my ring. He must have been afraid to make the Akbar the Great angry." When he took the ring out, he found a small note placed under the ring. Once again Akbar said, "Ha! He has even written me an apology note. What an idiot!" He took out the note and read it. He was surprised to find that the note was not an apology note. The note read, "Dear King, didn't I tell you that something would happen to you when you were out in your disguise? I hope you learned that the knife will always not help you defend yourself. This time you lose your royal ring. Next time you might lose your life. Please take your gods with next time with you." Akbar burst out laughing and said loud, "Bibar, you wicked man! So it was you in disguise. I should have known that you would have followed me to teach me a lesson. Thank you. I have learned my lesson." From that day onwards, the king would always walk to the city with his guards near his side. Friends, this is a story I like so much. The Bibar teaches the king itself a lesson. So only I like this one. Hope you like too. Okay, bye bye friends. I will see you next time.